back in Kansas City, where we're halfway through day one of our round of 16 competition at the final site. And the lowest remaining seed in the field, the number 11 Southeastern Fire, put it on the line against the 7th seeded Spirit of Ottawa University out of Arizona, OUAZ. Nate Gatter back with you at Municipal Auditorium in downtown KC. So far today, we put 2 teams through to the quarterfinal. Tougaloo came back in the second half to beat St. Thomas. Number 1 overall seed, College of Idaho, dominated against LSU Shreveport, and now these two will do battle. OUAZ in the white with orange trim. We'll start with Colton Hitt, Devin Collins, Alex Veely, Keyshawn Bruner, and Josiah De La Cerda. Meanwhile, for Southeastern in black, the only unranked team in the final coaches poll in the NAIA that is still in the field, that is unranked and not receiving votes. Unmentioned, I suppose you should say. They'll start with Joshua Blasquez, Jalen Mull, the grad transfer we saw here a couple of years ago with St. Francis, Sean Shore, Riley Maddox, and Riley Minix. Number 11 seed Southeastern, 20-12, 12-4 in the Sun Conference. They were the conference champions in the Sun Conference thanks to a late season turnaround. Minix jumps against De La Cerda, and Southeastern starts with the basketball. OUAZ 23-9, 10-8 in the GSAC. Blasquez goes down to the block for Mull. He kicks it out. Maddox off the mark on a 3. Offensive rebound by Sean Shore. Mull turns the corner. Right hand hook wouldn't go. And OUAZ the other way with their first possession after 2 misses by Southeastern. Bruner caught in the corner, goes to Collins. Veely, tough 3 off the dribble, and he got it. Alex Veely, a 36% three-point shooter this year. He averages 12.5 a game. This has been the consistent starting 5 for 6th-year head coach Matt Keeley this year. Blasquez trying to go to Shore, who was back cutting. Mull recovered it. Minix, tough 3. He got it. That was right over the head of Devin Collins. Riley Minix, 3rd leading scorer in the NAIA this year, better than 25 a game. And he's off and running with a triple. Shoots 39% from deep. Really shoots it well from everywhere. He's also the leading rebounder for the Fire and a leading rebounder in the NAIA at almost 14 a game. A lot of it goes through 20 in black. Collins works on Minix, takes him to the block, shoulders in, and scores off the window. OUAZ in just its 6th season of college basketball. 2nd trip to the NAIA tournament. Last year lost in the 2nd round. And now through to the round of 16 in Kansas City for the first time. Minix goes out to Maddox. Minix again for another 3. Rattles out, and Collins the rebound. Southeastern, meanwhile, its 6th appearance in the NAIA tournament all time. Collins over Minix. This time wouldn't go. Rebound on the floor. Blasquez has it and secures possession for Southeastern. The Fire in their previous 5 trips to the NAIA tournament. Ball to the rim, can't get it. Won a combined 3 games. They were all in 2014 when they made it to the national semifinals before they were eliminated by Indiana Wesleyan. That was back before the NAIA combined into 1 division with 1 tournament as it is now. That was the NAIA Division II tournament in 2014. Minix, tough bounce feed underneath. Hauled in by Shore. And rebounded by De La Cerda, who's been quiet so far. Senior from Fresno is the leading scorer for the Spirit at better than 17.5 a game. Here's Bruner. Veely drives, lost the handle, and Southeastern the other way. Blasquez has Shore with him, tried to shovel it to Shore. Knocked out of bounds by the backtracking Colton Hitt, senior from Malta, Idaho. Matt Keeley in his 6th season leading OUAZ. Literally started the program. And now has the Spirit in Kansas City for the first time at 23-9. Enjoying the best season in their program's history. Southeastern made the first substitution of the game. Reggie Mesidor is on. And Minix gets another bucket. He has all 5 for the Fire to this point. Mesidor, the senior from Kissimmee, Florida, he cracks a sizable scoring punch off the bench. There's a 3 from Collins, who has 5 early. Mesidor, in fact, is the 2nd leading scorer for the Fire, behind Riley Minix. Mesidor averages 13.5 in a game. Minix wants it against Collins. This has been the high-scoring matchup so far. Lasquez for 3. Fast-paced start. 8 all in the first 4.5 minutes. De La Cerda hasn't tried a shot from the field yet. He had the dramatic buzzer-beating 3 to win the opening round game in overtime for OUAZ against Baker. Collins again turns on Minix, scores again. Devin Collins has 7 points in the early going. He averages just 8 and change per game. Known more for his efforts on the glass, leading rebounder at close to 9 a night for the Spirit. But he's a bucket from his season average inside 5 minutes. Pull-up Mesidor hits. Little glance toward the OUAZ bench as well. Not a big roster for the Spirit. Veely can't get the 3. Minix tapped the rebound of Lasquez. They do have 3 subs waiting to come in, only 4 more bodies on the bench. They don't go very deep at all. And now, Southeastern takes the lead. Mesidor with 4 quick ones off the bench. Collins trying to add on. Tough 3 for hit, and he got it. Offensive foul. Whoa. And they're waving off the basket for the offensive foul, saying Colton Hitt swept his leg out and initiated the contact. So an offensive foul called against the Spirit. Wipe out the 3-pointer by Hitt. And the lead intact at 2 for Southeastern into the break.
You know, it's easy to get caught up in emotions around, oh, I feel good, or I feel like I'm getting better, or I feel like I'm getting worse. But having data, big data, over a long stretch of time allows you to actually see your work come into fruition in the form of progress. It just allows you to create a better perspective over your progression. To ignore it entirely, doing yourself a disservice because it's a resource that's available to you.
Hometown ticketing makes it fast and easy to buy tickets on your school's website or in the new Hometown Fan app. It's simple. Just search for your school, buy your tickets, and they'll be right there in your account, ready to be scanned when you get to your event. Download the Hometown Fan app today.
There are 2 key moments in any college journey: when an acceptance letter arrives and the day the college education is paid off. And College Ave Student Loans is with you to help cover costs all along the way. We offer stress-free private student loans for undergrads, grad students, for parents, even loans to refinance your existing loans. Whether you're starting college, already in the workplace, or just trying to figure things out, turn to College Ave and breathe easy.
This building had gotten a little bit sleepy after the College of Idaho just sliced through LSU Shreveport in our prior game. That was a 5.5 minutes to wake you up a little bit. Southeastern up 12-10 early over OUAZ. Riley Minix going back to work with his 5 points to lead the Fire. He reposts on McKay Bundy just into the game for the Spirit. Minix turns away and he's fouled. Now Riley Minix will go to the free throw line. Minnick's a very good free throw shooter, 82% this year. Shoots well from everywhere, 60% from the floor, 39% from the three-point line. NAIA's third leading scorer and top rebounder. He splits the pair. Josh Rivers, grad transfer out of Oklahoma City, is in there 13 in white, along with the aforementioned Bundy, number 11. And 21, Jace Catchings is back in his home state. Junior from St. Louis. De La Cerda backs in, draws a double, and loses it. In transition, whistled underneath by Mesidor, and Sean Shore has the easy lay-in. Two experienced teams that have played a lot of basketball together this year. Minnick strips it, Velasquez in transition. Mesidor transition three, off the heel, and De La Cerda has the rebound. Off the turnover though, Mesidor gets the roll. 6 ones for Mesidor. Off the bench, he's hit 3 times from the field. And OUAZ wants a timeout with Southeastern up 17-10. 5-0 spurt out of the break. Mesidor whistled it into Shore. And then called his own number off the steal. Sort of a chaotic start. Southeastern up 17-10 with 13:16 to play in our first half. Not even 7 minutes in. It's been an exciting opening to this third game of the day and the round of 16. Winner of this game will advance to play the winner of our nightcap, top seed William Penn and number 4 seed Montana Tech. That game is scheduled for 3 o'clock Central Time on Wednesday. Mention though how much experience these teams have together. OUAZ has used the same starting lineup in 30 out of 32 games, the 5 they rolled out there today. Alex Veely is the only one who hasn't started every game. He started 30 of the 32 games for the Spirit. He did not appear in the other 2. So when available for those 30 games, they've gone with the exact 5 starting tonight. Had to be a travel in there somewhere, and there was. McKay Bundy just switched his pivot foot. Randy Lee in his first season as Southeastern's head coach, elevated in the midst of a second stint as a fire assistant. And he has taken Southeastern to Kansas City for the first time. Did reach the national semifinals once prior in 2014, as mentioned, which had their only 3 postseason wins before this year. But that was in NAIA Division II. So this is their first time in KC. Upset the number 6 seed Union by 6 last Tuesday, a 3 seed Faulkner by 4 the following day. And this is sort of uncharted territory for them to be leading a game like this early on in the tournament. A miss but a foul, and Catchings will go to the free throw line. The Southeastern has trailed by 7 at halftime in each of its first 2 games in this tournament and come back to win them both. Jace Catchings, a 63% free throw shooter. You see a few guys do this, but not many. You have the unorthodox behind the back, set up on a free throw, takes the dribbles, and then goes around the world. Five-point lead for Southeastern with the basketball. De La Cerda sits down for the first time for OUAZ. Bruner is back on, as is Devin Collins, who had the early 7 points for the Spirit. Minnick's off the flare, cut off by Collins. A lot of physical defending been allowed early on in this game. Hasn't been a touch foul call yet on a dribbler. Minnick forces a contested 3 over Collins. Here's Catching, sets up for a deep one. And the Rebound shielded off by Jalen Mull. Riley Lee calls out the set. Vasquez will initiate. Southeastern starting lineup has similarly been together for basically the entire year. Messidor from way downtown. Messidor has missed just once. He has a game-high 9 points now. Off the bench. Catchings draws a double. Tried to force it underneath. Past Collins and Bundy. The Spirit wanted a tip. None of the three officials wanted to give it to him. See those turnover numbers, that is problematic for the Spirit. 7 turnovers to 1, and essentially the difference, those 7 points off of them for Southeastern. Vasquez contested layup, rebounded by Avili. Bruner in transition on Mull, got half a step and he's fouled. Just the second team foul against Southeastern. OUAZ has also been called for 2. Riley Maddox back on for the Fire. Vasquez makes way. Rivers tried to turn the corner. Vili contested 3, way too strong. And De La Cerda coming right back on for OUAZ. McKay Bundy sits down. Haven't seen De La Cerda get going yet. He does it all. Big guy averages close to 18.7 boards a game. And he shoots 47% from three-point range. Shore crosses over on him. Mull for 3. Minix chases down the offensive rebound. Messidor out for Mull. Maddox resets. Too strong. Minix had the ball for a moment, but it's knocked loose and corralled by Collins. Midway through the first half, an 8-point lead for Southeastern. Both teams have cooled down offensively a little bit. Mull gets a hand on it. Collins working on Minix, spins to the rim, and he's fouled. That ball was loose, and he somehow managed to bat it up off the backboard and get it on top of the rim. Would have been quite the impressive improvised and 1 opportunity. Instead, it'll be 2 free throws coming on the other side of the timeout for Devin Collins. Things have settled down a little bit. Southeastern has stretched it out. 8-point lead for the Fire.
First time I picked up a Spartan TF ball, I knew it was built different. You know that feeling from that first moment on, it never leaves your hand. It raises you, lifts you to new heights, got you doing things like that. And once you're hooked, ain't gonna stop that. It teaches you to be a student first, to lay it all out, just to do it again.
And again.
From the moment you pick up a TF ball, it's always there for you. Now do something with it.
The landscape of sports is changing. AI is the next evolution. We're bringing it to fields and gyms everywhere with Huddle Focus. Just mount it, set it, and forget it. Multiple lenses, AI player tracking, automatic recording, or record on the fly with the Focus app. Instant uploads and flexible live streaming options. AI is changing sports. Use it to your advantage. Visit huddle.com/focus today.
Devin Collins at the free throw line for OUAZ, down by 8 with 9:41 remaining in our first half. Nate Gatterback with you from Kansas City. We've sent 2 teams to the quarterfinals so far. Tougaloo and the College of Idaho will play at 1 o'clock Central on Wednesday. The winner of this game will await the winner of our nightcap this evening. Number 1, William Penn. Number 4, Montana Tech. That game will be played at 3 o'clock Central Wednesday. Collins gets both. He's accounted for 9 of the Spirit's 14 points. Shore terminated the dribble. Minix comes to get it against De La Cerda. Step back 3, way short. Shot clock didn't reset. Mesidor is going to have to get it up off the side of the backboard. Good defensive possession for OUAZ. The 2 Southeastern stars both miss everything. Although not much Mesidor could have done at that point. De La Cerda bullies his way in on Shore for 2. His first bucket. And just like that, out of the timeout, OUAZ with 4 quick ones to cut the lead in half. Vasquez out for Shore, deep 3. Rebounded by Collins, his 4th. Colton hit, tricky pass. Controlled by De La Cerda, spins nicely to the rim, make it 6 in a row for the Spirit. And Southeastern's lead is now just 2. Vasquez, ball away. Another good defensive possession for the Spirit. And they come in transition with Vealing. On the attack, foul on the floor. No basket, no basket. They wave it off. Foul was on the floor. And De La Cerda, as we mentioned, had been quiet in the early stages, but a couple of quick buckets for him. This one he just bullied Shore all the way to the rim. And this one maybe even more impressive. Tough catch there around his knees. And a nice little spin move to get to the rim without getting an offensive foul. Inside Bruner for 2. 8-0 run out of the timeout. And OUAZ has tied it up. Mesidor all the way in. Just split the double team. Got around his defender. 2 help side defenders came. And he just went straight through him for the layup. Reggie Mesidor is the first into double figures. He has 11. And a timeout called by Randy Lee at Southeastern with 7:12 still to play in the opening half. Nice spin move by Bruner for his first 2. And Mesidor with his 5th field goal already. That's the easiest one of the night for him thus far. But these 2 teams look like they played a lot of basketball together. In Southeastern's case, the same 5 that started tonight have started 27 out of 32 games, make it 28 out of 33 now together. And in the case of OUAZ, 4 players have started every single game, and all 5 who started have been in the lineup for 31 of their 33 games counting tonight. The Spirit in particular did not look all that rattled, falling behind even by 8 in the early going. Collins finds De La Cerda, put a shoulder down into Shore, no call either way. De La Cerda has a half dozen. The OUAZ fans wanted either a block or a flop warning against Shore. The Southeastern fans wanted an offensive foul. Vasquez put it on the floor hard to get to the rim. Layup rolled off. And OUAZ back in possession. Bruner floats it up. Collins on the offensive glass. Hit for three. Banks it in. Colton Hint will take it. Makes up for the three earlier that was called back by the offensive foul. It's a 13-2 run for the Spirit, and they take the lead. Messidor, he's done a lot himself. Goes out for Maddox. Kicks it to Minix. His three is short. It was a hot start for Riley Minix. Hit his first two for the field. Since then, he's missed 4 in a row. All three-pointers. Hit on the pull-up. Contested. He wanted to foul. Minix the rebound. Shore in transition. Has it blocked by De La Cerda. Now Southeastern wants the foul. Physical first half. Just 6 combined fouls called in more than 14 minutes. I think there's a good case here that's a foul, but Shore does initiate a lot of the contact, and De La Cerda gets the block. And if that's a foul, then it was probably the other end on Hit as well. Both had decent cases, and the officials are letting them play for the most part of this first half. Be interesting to see early on in the second half if that continues. Sometimes in these games, the officials talk things over at halftime and decide it's gotten a little too far out of their control, and all of a sudden the whistles start coming in quickly in the early minutes of the second half, and players have to adjust. Minix, great try, twisting and turning to the rim. Here's Hit. Separates from Messidor. Ducks inside. Minix swats it. No goaltend. Collins lost it. He was fouled by Messidor. OUAZ wanted a goaltend on Minix, and that was very close. My gut reaction was that ball was probably on its way down, but you have up until the highest point, and including the highest point, to block the shot, and the officials didn't feel the ball was yet descending. 5 minutes to go in the half. Wide open three for Josh Rivers. Just a 26% shooter on the year, so Southeastern went under the screening action. Messidor attacks, couldn't finish. OUAZ the other way. Collins has quieted down a little bit since his hot start. Hit for three. Didn't get the bounce, and Maddox tips it to Minix. Interesting that Devin Collins hasn't looked too interested in taking another three. I mean, he's just a 22% shooter, but he hit that one earlier. Ball spins away from Rivers and banks it in. Southeastern back in front by one. OUAZ has shot the substantially higher percentage, but Southeastern has attempted 10 more field goals. Because OUAZ has 7 turnovers, Southeastern just 1. Messidor stands his ground, no solid contact, and Collins lays it in. 11 points for Devin Collins, and credit the officials for the no call there because there was minimal contact on Messidor. Collins and Messidor, the 2 in double figures for their respective teams. Minix wants it against De La Cerda. You'd think he could take him off the dribble. Takes a little shove in the back, didn't get a call. Contested, follow it, it goes. Plus a foul underneath, away from the ball. Collins got his hand or forearm up into the face of Sean Shore. The basket is going to count for Minix. And a foul called against OUAZ underneath on the rebound. Here's Collins. What a circus shot finish. Minix answered with a difficult one on the other end, and they'll have the ball out of the timeout.
There's a beat in all of us. It drives us, it inspires us, and it pushes us through. It is there in preparation, It is there in battle, it is there in defeat, and in success. It's the engine, it's our guide. And this beat is my own. This beat is how I live. And this is how I hydrate. Body Armor Sport Water, hydration for athletes.
I'm attorney Mike DePasquale. People call me all the time and they say, hey Mike, we take my small case. Well listen, no case is small at my law firm. Every case is big. Whether you have a case worth $20,000 or a case worth millions of dollars, you'll have the full power and attention of my law firm. When you hire my law firm, you get a team of people working on your case, no matter how big or how small it is. Big cases or small, call me. I've got this.
Call 816-888-7500. That's 816-888-7500.
Crowd filling in nicely. Southeastern up 28-7 on OUAZ in the late stages of the first half. Get a look at what happened here underneath. So this is a tough shot by Minix. Apparently this foul went against Southeastern. Shore tangled with Collins. And I guess they called Shore for backing into him like that, and it was just incidental that Collins handed up slapping down on Shore's face. Everybody's okay, but the foul was on Shore. The basket did count. Catchings finishes nicely. Banks it in past Minix. And Catchings has his first field goal, 4 points for the Show Me State native. Spirit up 1. Back and forth first half. Southeastern is led by as many as 8. Messidor, offensive foul. It's a tight call, but he did extend a little bit and bang into Catchings and just knock him off balance. That's a big second foul on Reggie Messidor. And you can see where the call comes from. Catchings maybe is a bit off balance, and it knocks him off his feet more than it really should have, and that helps get the call. But you can understand what the official saw there, and that could be a costly second foul for Messidor, who's going to stay out there, but he has to be very careful over the final 2.5 minutes of this first half. A third foul would be very problematic for Southeastern at this stage. Deep three from Veely, left it short. Collins the offensive rebound, and a fresh 20 for OUAZ. Inside Collins, rejected perhaps by Shore, perhaps by the rim. Maybe a combination. Shore's cut off. OUAZ wanted to travel. Minix 3, rebounded by Bundy. Southeastern has only used 6 players in this half. Bruner gets inside and scores, which is typical. The vast majority of the Fire minutes are played by just 6 players. Messidor is the only man who's appeared off the bench. Mostly in place of Joshua Blasquez in this first half. Mull thought about the 3, thought about it again. Messidor has to hurry. Tough shot. Mull went way up, and it's last off Bundy. That was well done by Mull just to put enough pressure on it. Bundy couldn't corral it and tapped it out of bounds instead. Saves another possession for Southeastern. The Fire led by as many as 8. They're down 3 now. Final 78 seconds of the opening half. Messidor turns the corner. Defense kind of backed off of him when he was at the elbow. He didn't notice. Deep 3. He hits it. Reggie Messidor seems like he doesn't care how far it is. If you give him the space, he's going to stick it. That's 14 for Messidor, a game high. Minix has 10 as well. They've combined for 24 of the 31 for Southeastern. Catchings counted off the glass. 6 points for Jace Catchings off the bench in the first half. Randy Lee wants the Fire to run a set here, but will likely be their last shot of the first half. Collins has really been grabbing a lot of Minix coming off those screens. What a spin move by Minix to the rim. Riley Minix has a dozen. He's getting going again. And we are tied up with 20 seconds to go until the half. Back and forth opening stanza to this third game of the day in Kansas City. Bruner with 5. Collins with 3. Collins has it stripped. Maddox from mid-court. Off to the left. That was a contested half-court shot. He still managed to get it all the way to the backcourt. Wow, what a half. That'll wake you up after a less than competitive previous game in which College of Idaho beat LSU Shreveport by 48 points. This one is nip and tuck. Southeastern got it to 8 at one point. Fell behind. Riley Minix tied it up in the final 30 seconds. We're knotted at 33 at the half.
The landscape of sports is changing. AI is the next evolution. We're bringing it to fields and gyms everywhere with Huddle Focus. Just mount it, set it, and forget it. Multiple lenses, AI player tracking, automatic recording, or record on the fly with the Focus app. Instant uploads and flexible live streaming options. AI is changing sports. Use it to your advantage. Visit huddle.com/focus today.
You know, it's easy to get caught up in emotions around, oh, I feel good, or I feel like I'm getting better, or I feel like I'm getting worse. But having data, big data, over a long stretch of time allows you to actually see your work come into fruition in the form of progress. It just allows you to create a better perspective over your progression. To entirely is doing yourself a disservice because it's a resource that's available to you.
There are 2 key moments in any college journey: when an acceptance letter arrives and the day the college education is paid off. And College Ave Student Loans is with you to help cover costs all along the way. We offer stress-free private student loans for undergrads, grad students, for parents, even loans to refinance your existing loans. Whether you're starting college, already in the workplace, or just trying to figure things out, turn to College Ave and breathe easy.
Did you know only 2% of college graduates feel that they've had a magical college experience? At St. Thomas University, we see the magic happening every day. When your professor becomes your mentor and learning becomes your passion. When you join a student organization and meet your friends for life. When your classes and activities prepare you for the real world and a successful career. At STU, our students live the magic, and their college experience leads to limitless possibilities. Visit stu.edu today.
After 100 years, why are we still pushing for more? Because at Thomas More, we're inspired to help you create and live a fuller life. That means creating more opportunities for you inside the classroom and out. Programs that lead to something more than a job, a fulfilling career, and expecting more from our faculty and staff to help give you the opportunity to become the remarkable person you were created to be. Thomas More University. Make it more.
The landscape of sports is changing. AI is the next evolution. We're bringing it to fields and gyms everywhere with Huddle Focus. Just mount it, set it, and forget it. Multiple lenses, AI player tracking, automatic recording, or record on the fly with the Focus app. Instant uploads and flexible live streaming options. AI is changing sports. Use it to your advantage. Visit huddle.com/focus today.
The thing I love about Clark is that you're never just one thing. I'm not just a student, I'm a future doctor. I'm an athlete on a history-making team. I'm a community member supporting the causes I care about. I'm a friend, a neighbor, a leader. At Clark, you can become anything. What will you be? Be you at CU.
Hometown ticketing makes it fast and easy to buy tickets on your school's website or in the new Hometown Fan app. It's simple. Just search for your school, buy your tickets, and they'll be right there in your account, ready to be scanned when you get to your event. Download the Hometown Fan app today.
It's more than an education. It's more than a degree. William Penn University is alive with opportunity. Opportunity in a diverse student body. Opportunity in a staff that works with your budget. Opportunity in over 30 programs of study. Opportunity in a classroom where your voice is heard. Find your future and the opportunities waiting for you. Start your planning today at WPenn.edu and see why William Penn University is alive with opportunity.
First time I picked up a Spartan TF ball, I knew it was built different. You know that feeling from that first moment on, it never leaves your hand. It raises you, lifts you to new heights, got you doing things like that. And once you're hooked, ain't nothing gonna stop that. It teaches you to be a student first, to lay it all out, just to do it again.
And again.
From the moment you pick up a TF ball, it's always there for you. Now do something with it.
You know, it's easy to get caught up in emotions around, oh, I feel good, or I feel like I'm getting better, or I feel like I'm getting worse. But having data, big data over a long stretch of time allows you to actually see your work come into fruition in the form of progress. It just allows you to create a better perspective over your progression. To ignore it entirely is doing yourself a disservice because it's a resource that's available to you.
There's a beat in all of us. It drives us, it inspires us, and it pushes us through. It is there in preparation, it is there in battle, it is there in defeat, and success. It's the engine, it's our guide. And this beat is my own. This beat is how I live. And this is how I hydrate. Body Armor Sport Water, hydration for athletes.
I'm attorney Mike Squally. People call me all the time and they say, hey Mike, we take my small case. Well listen, no case is small at my law firm. Every case is big. Whether you have a case worth $20,000 or a case worth millions of dollars, you'll have the full power and attention of my law firm. When you hire my law firm, you get a team of people working on your case, no matter how big or how small it is. Big cases or small, call me. I've got this.
Call 816-888-7500. That's 816-888-7500.
3-all at the half, and as you can see from these numbers, I think depending on which team you root for, you can create yourself a narrative that says you're in the driver's seat. I think Southeastern is a little bit easier to construct, and that is that they took 9 more shots than OUAZ did. They shot at a substantially lower percentage. They took care of the basketball a lot better, and they just didn't hit their shots, especially from three-point range, with really their normal level of accuracy. Meanwhile, for the Spirit, they would say if we could take care of the basketball a little bit better, we're right in this thing. Reggie Messidor led the way for Southeastern. He had 14 points on 6 of 10 shooting. Riley Minix added a dozen of his own for the Fire. Those two combined for 26 of Southeastern's 33. Meanwhile, for OUAZ, it was Devin Collins early, and then a little more Devin Collins late as well. He had 11 points, the only Spirit in double figures, added 6 rebounds as well, 4 of 6 shooting from the field. A three-pointer, hit a couple of free throws. Josiah De La Cerda made all 3 of his shots from the field, but he was pretty quiet with 6 points. Averages close to 18 a game. But if there's one thing we've seen from the Stars so far today, it's that they've picked things up in the second half. Particularly Cameron Copeland did so in the second half for Tougaloo in our first game, and really flipped that one on its head and eliminated Southeastern's Sun Conference rival, the 10 seed St. Thomas. Southeastern is the only remaining double-digit seed now, and trying to push into the quarterfinals. De La Cerda inside with a height advantage on Maddox, but Minix came over and helped as well. Now the Fire have the basketball in a tie game, 30 seconds into our second period. Minix comes out to get it on Collins. Takes him to the block. Terminated the dribble in a tough spot. Maddox gets it to Minix for 3. Just the second three-pointer for Riley Minix. He hit his first one, then missed 5 in a row, but he cashes that one in. Give him a game-high 15, and Southeastern the lead. Minix is just a matchup nightmare, and he's proving that way for OUAZ to this point. Collins is doing a pretty good job on him, as he has size and athleticism. De La Cerda. The problem is when De La Cerda's on him, Minix is just too fast, too quick. He gets to the rim. When Collins is on him, Minix is too big, and he's able to back his way in and get position. Now, Collins resisted that on the last sequence. And this time is called for the foul, just knocking Minix over the baseline. That's the first on Collins, the first whistle either way in the second half. That'll be something worth keeping an eye on as well, as you talked about late on in that first half. Just see what happens in the second half if the officials tighten up the whistles a little bit. Mull on the drive, splits the defense for two. Jalen Mull has experience nobody else does for Southeastern. He went to the Fab Four with St. Francis in 2021. Second team all Crossroads that year, had 22 points in the quarterfinals to beat Bethel. There's a three from Veely. Cuts the Southeastern lead back down to 2. No real foul trouble to speak of because of how loosely the officials called the first half. There are 3 Southeastern players with 2 fouls each. Mull drives, goes out to Blasquez. Minix wants another 3. This one's way too strong, and De La Cerda has the rebound. 2 fouls each on Mull, Mesidor, and Shore. And any foul trouble is a big deal for Southeastern because they only use 6 players generally. They've only used 6 so far tonight. And those 6, even if a couple others sometimes appear, play the vast majority of the minutes. Collins shovels to Bruner, blocked by Minix. Nice recovery defensively by Riley Minix. Southeastern was in trouble. Mull working on hit, spins, and he's fouled. Three minutes into the second half, had a few highlights already. Jalen Mull all the way to the rim, just got past it. And a step back 3 at the other end by Veely, who has hit 2 of his 5 from deep so far tonight. Mull's first free throw is good. 82% foul shooter at the line for the first time this evening. Don't forget, we have one more game for you tonight. Number 1 seed in this Kramer quadrant, William Penn of Iowa, takes on the 4th seeded Montana Tech Ordigers. Collins lost the handle on the catch. Mull 3-on-2. Mull all the way in. Offensive foul. Big call. Big call. Devin Collins beat him to the spot in the estimation of our baseline officials. And that is the 3rd personal foul on Jalen Mull with 16:44 still to go. Oh, I don't know. That is really close. Collins was set by the time the contact got there, and you could argue Mull was a little bit out of control. But Collins has to be set, not just when the contact arrives, but when Mull takes off. And I don't know, that was close. De La Cerda on Maddox. Minix is over to double. It's an interesting approach Southeastern is taking right now. De La Cerda skips it to hit. Veely forces the 3. He left it short. And the rebound last off of Collins. And it goes back to Southeastern with a 3-point lead. And now the basketball. Good start in Kansas City. Tight first game, even if it didn't really come down to the final minute. An impressive, albeit not competitive, second game. A warning shot to the entire field from the College of Idaho, as though being the unanimous #1 team in the country is not already enough. Foul called away from the ball on Devin Collins. That's his second already in the first 4 minutes of the second half. He didn't have any in the first half. Just something to keep an eye on. He's the first player for OUAZ with multiple fouls. They've used 8 players, Southeastern 6. Shore protects the ball. Minix drives on De La Cerda. Maddox wide open for 3. Just can't get it. Riley Maddox, a 36% three-point shooter, has missed all 3 from deep so far tonight. Veely to the rim. His first attempt from inside the arc. Not an easy finish. He has 8 points, trailing only Devin Collins for the Spirit lead. 4.5 minutes gone by in the second half. Southeastern stretched it out for a moment there, but the lead is back down to 1 for the Fire. Minix to the baseline, double team, tough shot, Veely the rebound. OUAZ can take the lead. Bruner attacks on Blasquez, foul on the floor. The second foul of the half against Southeastern. Here's another look at that Veely drive. He had taken 6 shots before this one, all threes. He had to beat Maddox to the spot and then get it high off the window over Minix. Mulchek's out, Mesidor is on for the first time in the second half, so nearly 5 minutes of the starters for Southeastern. OUAZ made 3 changes. Collins and Veely sat down. There's De La Cerda for 3, and he rims it down. Bruner also made way for OUAZ, and the Spirit have brought on Jace Catchings, Josh Rivers, and McKay Bundy, the same 3 who appeared as substitutes in the first half. Spirit lead now. Blasquez spins down the lane, switches hands, can't finish, still loose. Minix had his hands on it, and a foul called against OUAZ. OUAZ has had a comeback here, but need a little more toughness on the boards on that play. De La Cerda maybe starting to heat up his first 3-pointer of the night. 9 for De La Cerda, a 2-point lead for the Spirit.
Inspiration, the divine influence of something. How do we inspire? We build ourselves up. We help each other out. We work hard so that we can achieve big things. We are Avalon. Be inspired.
Southeastern and OUAZ in a tight one early in the second half. The winner will play the winner of our nightcap tonight, William Penn and Montana Tech, at 3 o'clock Central Time on Wednesday here in Kansas City. Nate Gatter back with you. Southeastern with the basketball, and Riley Minix fouled. It's a little touch foul, and these are the kind of whistles that we were speculating at the end of the first half might start to show themselves in the second half. There were few, if any, calls like that one in the opening 20 minutes. Just those little touch fouls, restricting movement. That's 5 team fouls against OUAZ in 5.5 minutes in the second half, and that could play a major role. There's a turnover and an open court foul on Reggie Mesidor. So Mesidor just picked up his 3rd foul. He and Jalen Mull both have 3 personal fouls with 14.5 minutes to go in the game. Mesidor's telling Randy Lee, I know, I'm okay. Unlucky for him. It's sloppy and silly to reach in like that, but unlucky because that kind of quick change of possession is just something that can catch a player off guard. Probably instinct more than anything to reach in for the basketball. Shore right up on Bundy, backs him down to the baseline, out of room. Here's Catchings, who was good down the stretch in the first half. De La Cerda on Minix, the matchup we came to see. De La Cerda through some contact, couldn't get it. Rivers right up on Blasquez. Minix works on De La Cerda. Outside to Shore. Backs in on Bundy. Shore, the fall away. Got it. Tie game again. 13.5 to go. Catchings goes baseline. Bangs into Maddox. Lost that one. Messidor just couldn't pull it in. Still 15 to shoot, and Bundy scores inside. Unlucky for Reggie Messidor, who did everything right there and just couldn't quite corral the ball as he was going down. Messidor on hit. Puts his head down, goes to the rim, and he's fouled. Messidor just tucked that one away like a running back going down the lane. He was going to the rim one way or the other. Here's Messidor. Probably should have had a steal, just got it caught up at his feet. The ball didn't pop back up to him, and he couldn't pull it in as he was falling down. Created a pretty simple bucket for the Spirit. The officials, it sounds like, want to confirm who the foul was on. Messidor was getting ready to shoot free throws. I thought, based on how they've called this game, that foul was probably going to be on the floor. Based on the timing of the whistle. And that's only the 6th team foul on OUAZ. So it wouldn't be bonus time yet. So the officials were saying that Messidor was in the act of shooting. Let's see. Oh, yeah, I mean, if the foul is on De La Cerda, I thought the whistle came before that, maybe on Hit, and Hit had his hand up claiming the foul. If they called Hit for reaching in, I think it's probably on the floor. But if it is on De La Cerda, obviously that was in the act of shooting, and they do, in the, at least for the moment in the official statistics, have the foul on Josiah De La Cerda. It's the 2nd foul on De La Cerda. He and Collins both have 2, along with McKay Bundy. So Messidor has his first point of the 2nd half. Give him 15 for the game. Tied with Riley Minix as the top scorer in this one. 66% free throw shooter on the year, Messidor. And he gets both to tie the game. Bruner went around the screen a couple of times and draws a foul at the rim. That's on Messidor, and it is. It's number 4. Reggie Messidor is going to have to sit down for some period of time here. Jalen Mull's going to come back on, and Mull has 3 fouls. If they both foul out, Bruner hits. Southeastern's going to have to turn to somebody who hasn't been in the game yet and who plays very light minutes generally. Maybe Misha Yagadin. Knocked out of bounds almost by Catchings. He saved it, but Minix comes away with it for Southeastern, down by 1 with the basketball. Minix wants it to the high post. Here's Mull. 3 on the way, and it goes. Jalen Mull, just a 28% three-point shooter for the season. That's his first one tonight. And a welcome sight for Southeastern. Catchings attacks. Minix, that's a goaltend. Didn't get called for one earlier. That one was pretty easy. It's a Southeastern team that 2 months ago was 8-11. 8 wins, 11 losses. Since then, the Fire have won 8 in a row, and 12 of their last 13. They're the only team still standing that was neither ranked nor receiving votes in the final coaches poll on February 27th. Minix hits the triple. He has a game-high 18 points. That's his third from deep. 3-point advantage for the Fire. De La Cerda attacks on Minix. Has it knocked out of his hands, but he regathers and scores. 11 for De La Cerda into double figures now. Mull, nice move to shake free from Bruner. Good help by Bundy. Blasquez attacks, sets up Maddox. Bump by Catchings. Shore deep three. A little bit short. Catchings in transition. Pursued by Mull, who pokes it free. Goes behind his back to Blasquez, who throws it off the backboard to Minix. Mull, Blasquez, Minix. What a triumvirate for Southeastern. The Fire lead by 3. A pursuit from Mull. Nice finish by Bruner. Going to the reverse. The pursuit by Mull. Rivers never knew he was there. Should say Catchings never knew he was there. Then to go behind his back in that moment when Rivers tried to cut him off. And the audacity of Blasquez, who now wants a 3. And De La Cerda has the weak side rebound. In this kind of game, to go off the backboard like that. Season on the line. Rivers, nicely done to get that past Minix. And Josh Rivers gives OUAZ back the lead with his first bucket of the night. Back and forth past the midway point of the second half. 1-point lead for the Spirit. Minix has a mismatch on Bundy. Goes to Maddox, who stepped on the sideline. Has not been Riley Maddox's night. He is the only player who's appeared for either team and has not scored. Let's look at this again. Jalen Mull pokes it away, goes behind his back to Blasquez, who passes up the layup to go off the backboard for Riley Minix. That was some break. Southeastern stretched it out to a 3-point lead, but OUAZ has battled back, and it's the Spirit who lead by 1 with 9.5 to go in Kansas City. OUAZ leads by 1. Riley Minix has a game-high 20 points, and he's keeping Southeastern in it, in particular in the absence of Reggie Mesidor, the second leading scorer for the Fire this year, who is glued to the bench with 4 fouls. Still more than 9.5 minutes to go in Kansas City tonight before we send a second team through to the quarterfinals to take on the winner of the fourth of 4 games today. Coming up 20 minutes after the conclusion of this one, top seed William Penn against number 4 seed Montana Tech. The winner of that game will play the winner of this one, 3 o'clock Central Time Wednesday. Bruner lost the handle on the drive, able to recover. Moll's right on it. Alex Veely back on. So too is Devin Collins. Collins works on Blasquez, finds a back-cutting. Bruner jams on Minix. Right on his head. 3-point lead for the Spirit with 9 minutes to go. Minix can't hit. Collins popped by Shore and a foul. Keyshawn Bruner just 6'2". He's given up 5 inches of height to Minix. How about the elevation? Keyshawn Bruner catching a body in KC. OUAZ leads by 3 inside 9 minutes. Chance to take it to a 2-score lead. Devin Collins. Keyshawn Bruner. On the baseline, it's Bundy. His pass is tipped. It's out of bounds, and this is going to be tricky now for OUAZ. 6 seconds to shoot. A stationary trigger from deep in the corner. Bruner has to hurry. Brewer with 3. Bruner with 2. He was fouled by Mull. Oh, you could see that one from a mile away. Jalen Mull just reached in and got Bruner right on the arm. Not only is that 3 free throws for Bruner when the shot clock was down to 2, it's also the 4th foul on number 4 in black. He and Messidor have 4 fouls each. A costly whistle. It looked like Southeastern was moments from forcing a really difficult shot that OUAZ didn't want to take, potentially getting the ball back down by 3. Instead, a 4th foul on a critical player. And 3 free throws most likely coming from Bruner. The officials are going to take a look and make sure that this was a 3-point shot for Keyshawn Bruner. And they'll be seeing more or less what you're seeing here in a moment. They're looking at the same thing you are right now, whether Bruner had both his feet behind the 3-point line. Certainly he did. That should be 1 look and done. Maybe 1 more just to be sure. But I would think that will be simple for the officials to confirm. Maybe they want to see something from a different angle. We're going to give them whatever we have. But that looked pretty clear to me that both of his feet were at least a full foot behind the 3-point line. One more look. Yeah, that's no question. So 3 free throws coming for Keyshawn Bruner. It was made 1 of 2 at the stripe so far tonight. He averages close to 16 points a game, 2nd high leading scorer for the Spirit this year. But off the mark on that one. Normally a reliable free throw shooter, 80% on the season. 1 for 3 in this game. He has both misses for OUAZ at the stripe. Counting that one, the Spirit have made 6 of 8. They've cleaned up those turnovers in large part, just 2 since halftime. Southeastern has had 3 in the second half, and that's allowed OUAZ to build a 5-point lead. Fire with the basketball, big trip here. Mull stays in the game with his 4 fouls. Messidor on the bench, his likely replacement, has 4 as well. Blasquez on the attack. Bundy took the charge. Second foul on Blasquez. That's the 7th on Southeastern. Both teams are in the bonus at this point. No free throws, obviously, for an offensive foul. Really no doubt about that one. Mull sits down. Messidor is back on. And you wonder here, I know Randy Lee, wants to play these 6 guys and live and die with them. But there's a chance at this point Southeastern is going to have to go beyond those 6 guys. It is not out of the question, especially if this game goes to overtime, that both Messidor and Mull foul out. Bruner! Keyshawn Bruner, a second major slam in the second half. Blasquez can't get it. Minix the tip. Minix back up. Counted plus a foul. Big bucket for Minix. Snaps a 10-0 run for the Spirit. But how about this jam by Bruner? Just 6'2". Turns the corner and takes off. Stick his whole wrist in the rim. Wow. Minix at the line. Can't complete the three-point play. So it's a 5-point OUAZ lead with a basketball. 7.5 minutes to go. Bruner taking over in the second half. He now has a team-high 13. Veely for 3. Too strong. Hit somehow pulls the rebound out of there. And Collins secures a second possession for OUAZ. Bruner for 3. Minix the board. 2 chances for the Spirit, but they come up empty. Big opportunity now for Southeastern. See what Reggie Messidor has in the tank after a few minutes on the bench following his 4th foul. Looked on the catch like he thought about shooting that one. Minix steps inside, still going, fall away, left it short. Taylor short of the rebound. That's his 8th. Here's Veely on Messidor, who has the 4 fouls. Messidor had to back off, and Minix fouls Veely. Count the basket for Veely. Plus a foul. A 7-point lead for OUAZ. A free throw coming for Veely when we get back. Messidor had to back off with his hands in the air. Minix got him on the head. And 1 for Veely, and a chance after the break to make it an 8-point Spirit lead.
Campbellsville helped me to get a job, get my master's, to prepare myself for the world.
It offers students a tremendous amount of opportunity to get real-world experience.
We see Christian students, non-Christian students. We see people from every walk of life.
It's such a good place to be.
It kind of reminds me of home. Your teachers actually look out for you here. You feel invited as soon as you walk in.
You're not going to find any better place to help students achieve what they want.
OUAZ, to the delight of a pretty sizable contingent here in Kansas City, leads by 7 with 6:23 to go in the second half, and Alex Veely has a chance to complete an old-fashioned three-point play. He does just that. 8-point advantage for the Spirit. Southeastern led by as many as 8 in the first half. Remember, in our first game as well, St. Thomas, also out of the Sun Conference, had a 9-point lead in the first half and again in the second, and coughed that up to lose by 6 to Tougaloo. Southeastern's in big-time danger now. Riley Minix has to hurry, drives on Collins, didn't get the roll, and Veely goes up for the rebound, knocked out of bounds by Minix. But OUAZ keeps it inside 6 minutes to go. It's been all about Keyshawn Bruner in the second half. He has 9 of his 13 since the break, including a couple of highlight reel jams. Southeastern putting on some full court pressure for the first time. Let's see those numbers down at the bottom right on your screen. That the Fire have only scored 2 points in the last 5 minutes. De La Cerda leans in. Minix goes way up for the rebound, his 10th. An impressive double-double for Minix no matter what. He has 22 and 10. But they need more. Messidor lost the handle. Gets rid of it to Blasquez. Messidor from way downtown. Rims out. Maddox the rebound. On the baseline, Riley Minix. Good look at a 3. He missed it short. Shore goes to the deck. The foul is on Southeastern. Sean Shore whistled for it. That's his 4th personal foul. So Shore, Messidor, and Mull all have 4 fouls. And OUAZ is going to be shooting free throws on this on 1-on-1. Jalen Mull returns for Blasquez. So 3 of the 5 players on the floor for Southeastern have 4 fouls. If any of them fouls out, it would be Blasquez back in. If somebody further does, we'd see someone who hasn't played yet tonight. Ten points in the second half now for Bruner. Another free throw. 5 of 7 from the field, 5 of 7 at the stripe. For the senior from Sacramento. 10-point lead for OUAZ. Messidor. Through Mull to Minix. Mull for 3. He hits it. Big shot for Southeastern. Still 4:45 to go. It's been such a suffocating last few minutes for the Fire. In some ways, it probably felt to them like the game was almost over. They still have time, and the way they played in the first half, this is hardly insurmountable. Ball is loose. Minix has it, and he's fouled. That's going to be free throws coming for Riley Minix. And Southeastern will take points any way they can find him at this point. Foul on OUAZ. Free throws for Minix when we get back. 7-point lead for the Spirit.
You know, it's easy to get caught up in emotions around, oh, I feel good, or I feel like I'm getting better, or I feel like I'm getting worse. But having data, big data, over a long stretch of time allows you to actually see your work come into fruition in the form of progress. It just allows you to create a better perspective over your progression. To ignore it entirely is doing yourself a disservice because it's a resource that's available to you.
Hometown ticketing makes it fast and easy to buy tickets on your school's website or in the new Hometown Fan app. It's simple. Just search for your school, buy your tickets, and they'll be right there in your account, ready to be scanned when you get to your event. Download the Hometown Fan app today.
There are 2 key moments in any college journey: when an acceptance letter arrives and the day the college education is paid off. And College Ave Student Loans is with you to help cover costs all along the way. We offer stress-free private student loans for undergrads grad students, for parents, even loans to refinance your existing loans. Whether you're starting college, already in the workplace, or just trying to figure things out, turn to College Ave and breathe easy.
OUAZ leads by 7. Southeastern just got a 3 from Jalen Mull moments before the timeout, then a foul on the pictured Colton hit, his second personal, and more importantly, the 8th against the team. So Riley Minix, an 82% free throw shooter, has a 1-and-1 here. He's just 1 for 3 at the stripe so far tonight. A little bit of a short-handed release on that one, but got it to go. He could cut this Southeastern deficit down to 5. It felt like it was almost over for a period there. See, the Southeastern only had 2 points over a 6-minute stretch. Minix, another miss. 2 of 5 at the line, an 82% shooter. 3 points Southeastern would love to have right now. 6-point advantage for OUAZ with the basketball. Bruner attacks. He was fouled by Riley Maddox. And he will shoot 2 free throws. That is 10 team fouls. So now double bonus time for the Spirit the rest of the way. Bruner has a team-high 17 points, 14 of them, make it 13 of them since halftime. Reggie Messidor has not been able to get in a rhythm in the second half, in large part because of his foul trouble. Here's Jalen Mull, who's hit a couple of threes. Turns the corner. Maddox for Minix, has his shot blocked. Penetrates into Collins and a blocking foul. Devin Collins' 3rd personal foul. And Minix back to the free throw line. Messidor was calling for it, open on the left wing. Minix now 3 of 6 at the foul line. And I think he had something to say to the crowd, wherever the whoops are coming from. You'd think that's probably only going to encourage them. Don't know who he was talking to or what he said, but he turned his head and he had something to say, and there were some smiles in the crowd. Spirit up by 6, 3.5 to go. Bruner. And a travel. There was contact with Messidor, who stood his ground, kind of knocked backwards. I don't think he really did anything there. There was contact, but I don't think he initiated much of it, so probably a good call. Unlucky for Bruner, who just got knocked off balance by the contact. Staggered backward a little bit. It had to be a foul one way or the other, or a travel. There was no option for no whistle there. Mull penetrates, extra pass Messidor. He got him overloaded on this side. Mull attacks, Maddox open look. Too strong, Mull the rebound. Kicks to Messidor, he wants a 3. Rims out, Minix ends up on the ground. And a foul on OUAZ. If that's on Collins, it'll be number 4. It is on Devin Collins. It's his 4th with 3 minutes to go. And Minix is back at the stripe where he started to settle into a little bit of a rhythm now. 25 points, 11 rebounds, 3 assists for Riley Minix. Right on his season average now, the 3rd leading scorer in the NAIA. 4 of 7 at the stripe. He's hit 2 in a row. Closes it down to a 5-point game with one more to come. Mull checks out, Blasquez back on. Remember that Mull, Messidor, and Shore are all playing with 4 fouls for Southeastern. Minix cannot get both. Every miss is a big one for the Fire at this point. 5-point game. Minix will rue the 4 points he has left at the free throw line. And a foul called on Maddox. 2 free throws coming for OUAZ. Riley Maddox, his 3rd personal. They had him trapped here for a second. It was in a little bit of trouble, and as it is, he's a 65% free throw shooter, so you don't necessarily hate putting him on the line, but definitely a foul, and right in front of the OUAZ bench, so you know they were reminding the official of his capacity to call it. Mull coming back on for Blasquez. Offense-defense changes right now for Randy Lee. Hit at the line for the first time. And he gets both. Nicely done by the senior from Idaho. 7-point lead for the Spirit. Mull comes free. Couldn't get it. Hit a good rebound in traffic. Southeastern thought they had a tie-up. Instead, it's a foul on Riley Maddox, his 4th. So 6 players have appeared for Southeastern tonight. And 4 of the 6 have 4 fouls. If this game goes to overtime, Southeastern might be reaching to guys who haven't played in a month or more to finish the game. But overtime looking less and less likely. Hit has gotten all 3 to fall at the line. OUAZ has dominated at the free throw line. Hit has made all 4. And Matt Keeley's men are 16 of 18, 89% at the free throw line. Normally a 71% free throw shooting team this year. Mull, nicely done on the drive. Southeastern, meanwhile, has made just 8 of 13. Riley Minix, in particular, a disappointing 5 of 9 compared to his normal 82%. And Minix fouled Bealey. He's saying Bealey stepped out of bounds. The officials disagree, and Riley Minix is caught off the foul. It's only his 2nd. Minix somehow has avoided the foul trouble, even though I'm not sure he's come off the floor. And Bealey at the free throw line, where he has made his only attempt tonight. He has 11 points and 9 rebounds. OUAZ just not opening the door at all for Southeastern at the free throw line. (18 of 20 as a team, 90% at the stripe. Keyshawn Bruner has missed 2, that's it. He has been fantastic otherwise in the second half. Messidor, tough finish around Collins. Hit crosses over past Maddox. 4 of the 5 players on the floor for Southeastern have 4 fouls. So they got to be careful reaching in. Jalen Mull would love to be applying more pressure right now. Southeastern desperately needs a stop, especially letting the clock run down. De La Cerda out of bounds. Hit couldn't quite save it. Big stop for Southeastern, a rare empty trip for OUAZ. And then you wonder if Randy Lee is ready to start bringing in some guys who haven't played at all to give fouls. If Southeastern has to start fouling, it can't be any of the players on the floor. Minix drives on Collins. Shore for 3. Left it short. Bruner the other way. Has Bealey ahead of the pack. 3-on-1. Bealey attacks. Lays it up and in. Inside 90 seconds, it's a 9-point lead for the Spirit. Minix on Collins. Spins to the paint. Elevates and scores. Timeout Southeastern. 78 seconds to go. It's a 7-point OUAZ lead. Bealey had options here. He had De La Cerda and Collins. Decided to go himself and made it work. 15 points for Bealey to go with 9 rebounds. Pretty impressive considering he has not shot the three-pointer well, which is his bread and butter. Just 2 of 7, but he's made all 3 shots from inside the arc and all 3 from the foul line. I haven't seen anybody make a move to check in for Southeastern, but I would think, I mean, at most there's one more possession here defensively the Fire can afford not to foul. Even then, facing a 7-point deficit, unless you get a turnover in the backcourt, I don't know how you can afford to play this out. Best case scenario for them is they get the ball back with 50 seconds, something like that to go, get a quick bucket. That's absolute best case scenario if there's no turnover. If they just play it out and OUAZ misses a shot, Southeastern would be down 4 with 40 seconds left, 35 seconds left. You're going to have to start fouling either way. Not a lot of fouls to give out there. They're going to play this possession out. Only Blasquez and Minix are not on the edge of disqualification for Southeastern. Bruner creates some more space. De La Cerda for 3. The dagger! OUAZ by 10. Messidor answers. Off the heel. Hit taps the rebound. Minix has it. Turns on Collins. Backdoor short. Blasquez steps inside. Blasquez still to the rim. He scores past De La Cerda. Timeout Southeastern. But the lead has grown by a point. It's 8 for OUAZ. 36 seconds to go. And now it's definitely time to foul. But OUAZ has shot 90% from the free throw line tonight.
Full timeout, Fire.
Wow. Now we can catch our breath and look at the bracket in the Kramer quadrant. Don't forget, we have one more game on an exciting day from Kansas City still to come. Would think that one will be starting probably in the neighborhood of 7:25-ish, depending on how long it takes us to play the final 36 seconds of this one. And it looks like OUAZ, the number 7 seed, will move on. If that's the case, we will have eliminated both the double-digit Sun Conference seeds. Number 10, St. Thomas, number 11, Southeastern. Both will have had substantial leads. Both will have come up empty, and both will be headed home to the Sunshine State. OUAZ then would be, I believe, the lowest remaining seed as a number 7, along with the 6 Tougaloo still standing. And they would move on to play the winner of the final game today. Number 1 seed of the Kramer region, William Penn. And the number 4 seed, Montana Tech. Southeastern's letting a lot of time go off the clock. Bealey in the front court. Collins goes underneath for a hit. Another easy 2. Easy as you like for the Spirit. They're back up double figures. Blasquez with a head of steam, and he is fouled by Bruner.
His second personal foul.
Double bonus time now, so 2 free throws coming for Blasquez, who has 5 points. It's his first trip to the stripe. And interestingly, Southeastern's going to make a change here with Blasquez off and Mull on. It doesn't really matter at this point, I guess. But if there was any miracle for Southeastern to somehow tie this game, it doesn't make sense to take out somebody with 2 fouls and put on somebody with 4 when you're going to have to foul. So now 4 of 5 players on the floor for Southeastern have 4. But at this point, it's just about a moot point. I hope you'll join us, stay with us for the final game tonight, and then join us again tomorrow for the other half of the bracket, and then certainly join us again on Wednesday when we get to the quarterfinals, and OUAZ will be back in action. Trapped in the corner, Bruner calls timeout with 13.7 seconds to go.
Timeout.
1 o'clock Central Time Wednesday will be College of Idaho and Tougaloo, the 1 against the 6 in the Naismith quadrant. And it looks like the 7th seed Ottawa of Arizona. OUAZ will advance to 3 o'clock Central Time Wednesday to face the winner of William Penn and Montana Tech. Tomorrow on the other side of the bracket, we will go in chronological order in the Dewar quadrant. Number 2, Langston. Number 3, Georgetown at 1 o'clock Central. Number 1, Grace, and number 5, Freed Hardman at 3. Then in the listed quadrant, number 3, Jamestown. Number 2, Indiana Tech at 5 o'clock. And number 1, Arizona Christian. Number 4, Morningside at 7. So look here from the listed quadrant. OUAZ gets it in play, and hit is fouled. So hit will shoot free throws. Just adding on at this point. Trying to become the 5th OUAZ man in double figures. Bruner has 17, Veely 15, Jay Lacerda 14, Collins 11. Hit splits the pair. That's the first free throw OUAZ has missed in a while. Unfortunately, it'll drop the Spirit below 90% from the line. Minix, a brick, Shore the rebound, and he is fouled by Collins, who is jogging to the bench, knowing with 5 seconds he is just fouled out. And a big hand for Devin Collins, well deserved. In the end, I don't think he scored a point after halftime. He did not. But his 11 first-half points, in particular his 7 early points, were key in helping the Spirit get their legs under them, even as Southeastern built at one point an 8-point advantage. So OUAZ will move on. The William Penn Statesman, and that is not allowed. William Penn Statesman and the Montana Tech Diggers still to come. Our final game tonight. That is all. The OUAZ Spirit in their first ever trip to Kansas City, their first ever round of 16 the NAIA, are going to keep on dancing to the quarterfinals. Baker, Oklahoma Wesleyan, and now Southeastern, the victims for Matt Keeley at OUAZ. Had never even made the NAIA tournament before last year, had never made the round of 16 before this year. A time of ambition for the Spirit. They move on to the quarterfinals Wednesday afternoon, and still to come in about 20 minutes from now, William Penn, the top seed in the Kramer quadrant, and number 4, Montana Tech. Thanks so much for joining us. 3/4 of the way through the opening day of our round of 16 action in Kansas City, and it has been a fun day at that. Another competitive game, an 8-point win for OUAZ. For all of our crew, Nate Gatter saying so long. Hope you'll stick with us. Join us again in just about 20 minutes for another number 1 seed, William Penn, taking the floor against Montana Tech. Still waiting for a game that's going to be decided by 1 possession. Maybe it's coming tonight. Join us again then. So long.